Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your host, Otto, coming to you live and direct from the grotto on 3 Men in the Basement. I've got my special guest, Lenny from Spineworks. But before I tell you any more about Lenny, you've got to check out the great works that Spineworks does. Check out this stuff. Man, I'm so happy to have our official sponsor, Spineworks, in the house with us to talk about this big book. This is part 2 of my giant size Xmen process, the book, the pressing. So, Lenny.
Yes, sir.
I thought this book was, we've got to talk about this book a little bit in detail, okay? Before we start showing the pictures, all right?
Okay, sure.
So, for those of you guys who don't know, I purchased a giant size Xmen 1 quite some time ago. I was under the impression that it would hit a 9, a 9.2, okay? I'm very hopeful. I don't have the eyes that Lenny has, okay? So, without showing you the pictures, Lenny,
yes.
When you first saw the book and you thought that I was a 9, it was a 9.0, 9.2, what did you think? Was I nuts?
Not nuts, but you know, the thing we always spoke about.
Yes.
What is it that I've been telling you for like the longest?
The back of the book.
That and you know what? And you're not the only one. A lot of people, when they go to a big con or they go somewhere and people are looking over your shoulder, you feel like, oh, I want to look at it, but you know, what are people going to say? Or maybe the owner might say something. So I always ask for permission when I ask to see the back. Usually they don't have a problem and they'll do it. You know, but it's important because you know, the back is part of the book, and it is the cover, and
the back of the book gets graded, right? The back of the book is part of the grading process.
Everything is graded, you know, staples, the rounding of corners, sharp corners, and all that. So of course, I know you by now, and I know that you wanted it to be linear.
Yes, right.
Other books.
Yes.
So I already had the mindset that I know what Otto wants out of this book. And then when I saw
good customer service, excellent customer service from Spineworks is always hands down the best.
You know, after a while, our regulars, we know what they want. And, you know, I think that's one of the things they like about us. We're upfront and transparent. I'm never going to tell a client, oh, yeah, this is going to be a 9A and I'm lying through my teeth. No, just to get your business. I'd rather be upfront and say, hey, I know what you want, but here's the problem. And I'd rather show you the issues so you don't have to spend any money. I mean, I want you to be happy. When the book comes back, it should be what it should be. You know, again,
absolutely.
The final grade is CGC. You know, they're the ones who will look at the book and say, okay, this is it. But we've had other issues, and I know you don't want to go into that right now. But
no. That's for another time. Right. But this is the second part of a video. So please go back into 3 Men in the Basement. Check out what I expected it to be, what I thought it would be. But right now, we're going to get deep into what Lenny had to do. We're going to get into the operating room right now, Lenny, right? Yeah. We're going into the laboratory. We're going to take the pictures, and we're going to listen to what a master presser, because I firmly believe, Lenny, that you deserve the title of a master presser, okay?
You know, I appreciate that. And I've been called a whole bunch of other things, from mad scientist, alchemist.
Right, right, right. Because it
Voodoo
is science, right?
doctor.
Because you're dealing with wood, right? That's what. This is a very funny story. I told Lenny we had to keep this short, but now I'm talking. When I first talked to Lenny about this, he goes, "Otto, you got to understand, we're working with wood here. We're working with wood, which is paper." And I go, "Oh my god," So anyway, so but Giant Size X-Men #1 is a square bound book.
Yes.
So Lenny, 2 or 3 things when you have to deal with square bound books. What is it something that you have to do differently with square bound books?
Yeah. Thank God we have in our arsenal different types of press machines.
Okay.
And I have one that has a very, very adjustable top plate. That's
Yep.
the heating plate.
Yep.
And I can adjust the pressure from that plate.
Okay.
And that helps me do all my square bound books.
Interesting. Okay.
And then
Gotcha.
there's other press machines where you cannot adjust the plate, you cannot adjust the pressure. So if you throw a square bound book under there, there's chances that you're going to smash the spine. And that's
we don't want that, man. Because I paid a lot of money for this, so I'm glad it went into the right press.
Right. So a lot of pressers don't understand, and there's some, of course, there's professionals out there, that know that the square bound books cannot be pressed like a normal book. I don't care. It's just the too much pressure, and then that spine starts getting crushed, and you start getting dinged on points right off the bat.
Right. We don't want that. We don't want that.
So the most important thing is having the right equipment. That's number one. Having the right equipment to do the right job. And that's one of the reasons why when I started buying press machines, I started looking at all the different options out there. And then when I saw this one machine, it's a bit older, but I love it because
I love it. We love it.
It's made in America,
Yes, wow. Fantastic.
Yeah, and actually it's built in New Jersey. So
all right.
So this machine I love because it's so adjustable, and it can apply the amount of heat you want based on the pressure you need. And you have to first start looking at the book and how to say, okay, this is what I got to tackle first.
Yep.
And then all the little minor stuff I could do with a tacking iron, because again, if there's like a severe indent or a bent page or whatever, you again, I can't apply the same pressure because if not,
understandable.
So that you have to have your trusty tool in case people don't know. Gotta have the tacking iron.
Oh, there we go. Love it. Love it. All right.
And most people don't even know what this is.
No,
this is like your best friend when it comes to pressing.
Gotcha. All right. You heard it. It's all the knowledge right now, 8 minutes in, above and beyond knowledge. So you guys want to see what the book looked like before. We're going to spend a couple of minutes on each one just to give you an idea, because some of the things I missed, a few of the things I missed, but Lenny's eyes didn't miss this. So initially, here's the book as we see it laying flat out of the bag, just got sent to Florida. Lays flat initially, Lenny. I knew that the bottom corner near the signature had some issues, and the top parts, right?
Right.
Okay.
Right. Correct.
So we looked at that, and Lenny took that, and he goes, "This is what it looks like flat." Initially, Lenny, if you looked at this book right out of the wrapper, okay, and I compared it to my 7, I would say that this is maybe a little bit better than a 7 before your work, right? Would you say?
Right, right. Yeah, because the other thing that you have to take into account with these square bound books that some people don't see it right away unless you lay it in a vertical is the indent from the staples.
Correct. Yes. Big deal.
And these bad boys had these huge, I'm talking thick.
Yeah, I saw it. I mean, it was in there too. Right.
Staples. And then throughout the years with weight being in a box puts an impression, and sometimes it breaks right through the cover.
Yes. Right.
And you got to keep in mind, one side is the flat end, the other side has the 2 prongs.
Yeah.
And they usually poke out of the cover.
Yes, thank God.
So that's the other thing you have to be careful when you're pressing, because if you put even the slightest pressure, you'll end up poking that other end.
Right.
So one of the first things I like to do is look at the positioning of the staples to see if, and I have a tool that I use to somehow push the tip ends back down a little bit more.
Yeah.
So they're not so sharp and poke out through the cover.
Sure.
So that's just an little tidbit to prevent more damage to the book.
Correct, right? Because we don't want to hurt it. So okay,
Right.
so I was thinking 7. Like the more and more I looked at it and I saw the back, I said I'm going to get dinged. So still presented better than my 7, But then we saw exactly what you were talking about. Well, right here, Lenny, by the 6 and the 8, right?
Right.
That's where the staples are.
Yeah, that's one of them. Yeah.
Yep. And then there was a crease by the 1 and the 5-0. Am I correct by saying that?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. So another thing that I knew about the staple. I saw the crease, so I was watching that. And then I went down to this. And now this was a ding right here, right, Lenny? This was by Wolverine's shoulder.
Yeah.
That was a crease. That could have done, you know what? I'll be honest with you. That might have been something that I could have done, taking it out of the bag, right? Because that's like a thumb. What would you say? Is that a thumb, Lenny?
Yeah, it's a finger bend.
Yep.
I mean, see, that's how I if I'm correct, that's how CGC verbiage on bends like that, because it looks like a finger.
Yep.
Impression.
Right. It looks like a thumb mark,
Right.
Yeah.
And as delicate as it is, all it takes is a slight amount of pressure, and there you go. Now you added
right,
a ding to the book.
Sure, right. And more importantly, I'm actually happy that it's a white cover.
And
it wasn't a dark. Right. Oh, look at that. Look at the way you said that, Lenny. You knew that could have been bad, right?
Yeah, because if it was a really dark color, even if you press it out, you're going to still see a break.
Yeah.
Even if it's a hairline.
Yeah.
Sometimes it depends on how old the book, and if it's if it's black, you're kind of screwed.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. But we're not, though. We're not. So we're still good with this, right?
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
My old man, the gambler that he was, used to say, sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. So I got lucky there, right?
Right.
And then we come down to this, and we see that we have a little crease right here. Okay.
Yeah. On the corner. Yeah.
On the corner. Now I knew you could fix this. And more importantly, I knew that this little part from the comics code to the end didn't have a color break. So I got lucky there too, right, Lenny?
Yes, you did. Yes. No color break.
All right, good. All right. Now,
the back.
See, that's it. That is it. And this is very important, you guys, whether you're a seasoned collector or a veteran collector, please take heed in this. And I always say I hang out with people smarter than me. And since I have met Lenny and since we fostered our friendship, I always look at the back of the books now. I have to, because there's so many things. Mm-hmm. One time I was at a con, I won't tell you what it was. There was a book that I was interested in. I pulled it out and the back of the book was flat. I mean, the back of the cover was blank. There was no advertisement on the back.
Oh, wow.
It was a phony cover.
Oh, shoot.
And it was a $400 book. And I gave it back to the dealer and I said, just like this, I'm not interested in this one. You know what I mean? So, and he was like, oh, I didn't know it was there, but you priced it at $400.
Yeah.
So,
right. Yeah. But besides just the back, Otto, like you mentioned, and I think this should be for everybody, you should say to yourself, how much money am I going to spend looking at a book when I'm at a con? I mean, if it, to me, anything above $50, I will definitely be taking it out.
Sure.
Because $50, and I count the pages.
Yep.
And you're looking for cutouts.
Yeah.
That's a big thing. But this is the other thing on the modern day books. A lot of people don't realize that some of these books come with that digital code.
Yep.
A little peel away. Yep. Did you know that if that's pulled away, that you're going to get dinged really bad? And maybe
really, I didn't know that. I didn't know that either.
Yeah, because it's considered incomplete.
Gotcha.
It's supposed to come with the book.
Interesting. Okay.
So if it's peeled away and gone, there's a huge chance that you can get a green label on it.
Gotcha. Wow.
So that's the thing with the modern books. Of course, the older books didn't have that, but if somebody cut away a coupon, you're pretty much done.
Give Lenny, for the people watching, what's a modern book that would have that in there, the code?
I think they started that in the last 5 to 6 years.
Oh, did they really? Yeah. But there was one. Okay, so that's
it's usually towards the end of the book. Usually, there's sometimes they're closer up towards the middle.
Interesting.
And so, but again, if it's a big key book or a book that you know that it has value, I think you should just definitely take the time to look at it, skim through
Of
it,
course.
you
Yep.
know.
Hey,
And
your money is your money. Do what you want, but buyer
exactly.
beware, right? Buyer beware.
And buyer beware. And I'm going to be honest, there's some dealers out there that'll tell you straight up, hey, that book has got this. But
Yep.
there's other dealers, they get a massive collection and they got a show coming up. I can guarantee you all, they will
They
not
didn't look.
look
They
the
didn't look.
inside
They
of the
didn't look
book.
right.
They see the cover only. Oh, this looks like a 9.
Yep.
Slap a price on
Yeah.
it, hang it on
And
the
that's it.
wall, and you're good to go.
Right, I hear you. All right. So, but before we take a look at the back of the book, you guys, please remember to subscribe to our channel now. Give us that thumbs up. We're giving you good information. We're trying to do our best as a channel to get stuff out there. Hit that notifications button so you know when we do go live, and leave a comment. Am I nuts for buying a raw book? I did pay for the walkthrough on this. We'll talk about that. But now we're going to take a look at the back of the book, and this is where I had some concerns after the fact, and I think Lenny did too. Okay. So we took a picture of the back of the book, and we can see up near this cutaway that it's very wavy. All right.
Mm-hmm.
It's very, very wavy. And then Lenny, what could have caused that? Moisture, maybe bad handling.
I think it's the way the paper felt, and there was no funky smell to it or whatever. It definitely, I don't think it was any moisture. I just believe it's the way it was handled. Maybe the bag and board for God knows how long.
Yep.
How the positioning, and the square bound books were notorious for having this type of weird format.
Yep.
At times. I mean, I've seen some other giant size Xmen's, and they all seem to. I mean, almost any square bound has this weird look.
Okay.
Yep. But it doesn't. I don't think it was moisture. In my opinion.
Good to know. Good to know. Okay. And then we had this part, which scared me the most. Again, lucky because it's a white cover book, right?
Yeah.
Because this, where you guys see the lines, that could have all been color breaking, and that could have really, really damaged the book. Okay.
Oh yeah. If this was a black, blue, green, red, oh my God, this.
Deal breaker.
Yeah,
right?
You'd be in a whole lot of trouble.
Yeah,
Correct.
but it wasn't a tear, Lenny, right? They're not tears. No. It's like like somebody pinched it almost.
Right. It's almost like somebody tried maybe picking the book up.
Yes, picking it up like that.
And I mean, who knows where this book has been in the last 40 years?
Yeah, true.
It might have been a kid.
Yeah.
Right,
absolutely.
And who knows? And they might have been in a rush to grab it in a certain way, but it definitely was the way they grabbed the book from the back.
Yep. Okay.
And so it created definite fracture lines to the fibers of the paper.
Yep.
And of course, if you zoomed in more, you already know that there's a scratch there.
Correct. And I think I have that. No, I don't. I don't have the scratch,
right?
Because I wasn't able to move in. But
right.
not only did it have this,
that picture you just showed had that little staining.
The stain, also. Right? And guys, I have known, and I'm not an expert, but I have seen over the past 2 years, CGC has been hammering. I have not. I've got grades which were good grades 5 or 6 or 7 years ago that had staining, but now that I see the staining more, I won't regrade these books. And clearly, clearly we had this stain. Now, Lenny, you and I have talked. Yep. Staining right now is a big knocker, right? Like
after talking to a few other pressers, and based on what they've been seeing, and also, like, for example, we work closely with Jason from Capture Collectibles,
absolutely, which we'll hear from very soon,
and his insider scoop of people he knows in the industry at CGC, that the big thing they're looking at now more so than before are stains, foxing, rust. Yep. They are really, really hammering it at a different level now compared to before.
Okay.
So I believe, and me and him, we talked about that the grading scale has changed.
Yep.
And I think that's one of the things that we've been noticing, that when we see books and you say, wow, why would we get this grade? And then when you see the grader notes, and then this and this and that, and it's just like killer.
Yep.
You know,
Lenny,
where
possibly could this been of water? Could this been some type of, obviously we know it's some type of liquid, but water, maybe some type of something
yeah,
hidden on the
it
side. Who
it
knows?
it could have been anything. I mean,
Anything
it
liquid,
definitely
anything liquid.
any type of liquid and maybe a little foxing. It because that happens. But I was able to remove it. Thank God.
I know. Yes. So Lenny, the master presser, the mad scientist,
Mad
was able
scientist.
to.
I kind of like that one
Yeah,
better.
I like it too. So was able to lift that off. So you guys, we are going to show you. So again, Lenny and I had a conversation before these pictures were taken, and I just dropped. I said, "My God, this was an investment. Even if it came back a 7, I still would make money on my investment. I don't know what I'm going to do with it." But it's one of those things where I was able to, I got it at a good price. I paid it off over time. I didn't get charged interest. So no matter what, it was going to be good, but you always want to be better, right? You always want to, you have that expectation,
Yeah,
So
but you also learn from your mistakes.
yeah,
Keep that in mind in the back
absolutely.
of your head that the next time, you have to be a little more thorough. And it's
Yep.
just like when I was talking to Uncle Frank, he has a new toy now. Did he tell you?
I bet.
The magnifying glass?
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. He's like, are you going to disappoint me now? I'm like, no, you look at it yourself and you will
Yeah.
find
Right.
the defects the book have. And he sees things now in a different aspect, which I like because he's hunting down 9698s,
Yes. Right.
So now he'll look at a book before he sends it to me and he's like,
yeah, right. You got to study it, man. You got to, because they're doing it on their end. CGC's doing it on their end. So,
of course.
So before we look at the after pictures, we do want to hear from our other sponsors, our good friends, Jason Irizarry and his team at Capture Collectibles. Lenny, I know you were just with him in New Orleans.
Oh, yeah, the Big Easy, man.
The Big Easy. But let's take a look at all the people they've met throughout the years. And please follow Capture Collectibles for your CGC yellow labels, and they're sponsors of us. They're great people. Without further ado, let's watch it. All right, there we go.
It's incredible working alongside with Jason now for almost 2 years.
Yeah.
And the stories he's got, the people he has met in this industry is incredible.
It's awesome. And you could see it with all those people in that picture.
Yeah, and CGC works so closely with him, and they appreciate a lot of the stuff he's done on their behalf.
Yeah.
And they just the two of them work very well. And yeah, there's times you got to make a few phone calls to say, hey, this is going on, that's going on, I need this, I need that. But you know what? They usually accommodate them, and they get the things done, and Jason gets things done.
Yep.
And sometimes he has his hands tied behind his back, and he will go all out to get whatever needs to get done. But still, he's a hard worker, and he probably works as many hours as I do.
Oh my God, you guys work a lot. Of our team here, of the triad, of the trio right here, Otto needs to work a little bit more. So that's okay. You guys are hard workers. But
I mean, even his wife is incredible at packing books. Like you can't. She is, I would have to say, the master packer. That girl,
I love it.
Can pack anything, anywhere, shipped how.
I get it off there. There we go. Yeah. So Lenny then sent me the after pictures. Oh my God, it looks so good. All right, ready? This is the full frontal at a nice angle. The first thing that I noticed, Lenny, it's so much whiter.
Yeah. No,
It's
no,
it
I spent, whenever we get big books like this, we give it the, what I call the a la carte
yes,
treatment,
right,
because of course you're paying at a higher tier,
absolutely,
and you deserve to get the all out treatment. And
sure,
and when it comes to a book like this, we already know that I have to dial in and look at things, and I'm going to show you out a little secret, and I don't show this to a whole lot of people, but
yeah, okay, here we
this right
go.
here, this is
Uh-oh,
this is
uh-oh,
my saving grace.
look at that.
When I'm working on books,
Yeah.
I look like a coal miner.
I love it. I love it. You got all the
But
tools in front of you, Lenny. I'm telling you, man. This is
but
Lenny. Let me tell you something. I'm going to tell for everybody watching this video, we walk the walk, we talk the talk. You know what I mean? And this
yeah,
is you're hearing Lenny show you all these things. Nobody has this stuff lying around. These aren't props. This is all stuff
yeah,
in real time, man. You know what I
yeah.
mean?
This
So
this is real time, and
yep.
and you know I use that, and if I gotta dial it in, let me tell you, I've seen stuff on paper that will scare you, and you're like, what is that? Oh
Yeah.
my god, bugs. You know,
Yeah.
bugs leave stuff behind, man.
I believe it. I believe it, man. I believe it.
And people will look at a book and say, what are those little black marks? If I tell you,
Yep.
you're not gonna like your book anymore.
No, right, right. So again, looks great. The corners look fantastic. And I'm going to show a little bit more. So you definitely got out the wrinkle that was up on top near the comic book code,
Mm-hmm.
and out by Wolverine's arm, that little finger, whatever we want to call it.
Finger bend.
Yep, right there. And now the edges look great. Now, if we look here where it says the first sensational issue and 68 big pages, that's where we had a nice long crease, non-color
Yep.
breaking, and the staples were there. Okay.
Yep. Well, the
So
staples are still there.
oh yeah, the staples are still there. You're right, right, right.
The
Well, the
staples are still
indents from
there.
the staples,
It's the impression that's no longer there.
correct, right. So you definitely were able to get that out. So that's making my grade go up a little bit, right? We're going
Oh
up.
yeah.
We're
Hey,
going up.
every
We're going
little
up.
every little imperfection taken away brings another plus mark on your end.
We like that. All right. Now here is just another way that I wanted to show it to you flat. And now when we looked at Wolverine on the top corner, probably about 12 o'clock, we can see that that's gone also. But again, you guys, look, the spine is flat. It looks great. It lays nice. It's white. The reds on Colossus really pop out, and the darks look good, and
Yeah.
just a
Well,
nice, nice looking book.
on this particular type of book, Otto, the spine is squared.
Yes.
Because if it was flat, you'd be in a whole heap of trouble.
Yes, exactly, exactly. I apologize. I'm just getting excited, Letty, because
I know.
this is all right. So now we're going to take a look more, and we can see, that the pages, the edges. Now we're looking at this side, and the corners, the edges. And I'm actually using my mouse going over this, but we can see that it, with the square bound books, there's no like hangover. It just looks good. And Lenny, now, were you expecting it to be honest, to
Okay.
get those things out, man? I mean, you did 4 or 5 things on the cover alone, right? Like,
Oh, I mean, total time, working on the cleaning work,
right.
alone, the press time, because the book was pressed several times,
Okay.
and then the tacking iron work.
Yep.
I think total time was probably 2 hours and a half of
Yep. Okay. Right. Right.
just direct
Right.
on hands work.
Yep.
And then the cold process, that could be by itself, and I did it for a good 20 hours.
Okay. Right.
And then of course, like I said, the real hard work is, like I said, the machine can only do so much because it's being a square bound. I can't treat it like a regular book.
Agreed.
I can, on a regular book, I can apply a whole lot more pressure, and work with it in a way where if I did that same technique on this book, your book would be ruined. And
yeah, we don't want that.
You can do that for a square bound book.
Right.
So this one was more of an a la carte, more detail, that tack and iron technique, the ball bearing technique. I mean, all the techniques that that is used to knock out the issues.
Yep.
But I think the big thing that we see here, that the corners are really sharp. The finger bends, the cleanliness, the crease line, but the back is what you need.
Yes.
To
all right.
show
Okay.
the people.
So, yep. So now we're going to take a look at the back. And oh my God, does this look different? Look at it right here. I mean, the back looks whiter. That corner where, the corner where the coupon is looks really, really great. So you definitely did some great work on that, Lenny, right?
Oh yeah.
That was the TLC part right there, right?
Oh yeah. Like you said, those glasses I showed you,
Yep.
man, it's almost like putting those virtual reality
Yes.
pieces on.
Yep.
But here I'm dialed in to such a point where I can see the fibers of the paper. I could see where it's really dirty or something that, again, I hate to say, a bug leaves a gift behind.
A gift, right? Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. So now we go down to the bottom right here. Now,
Yeah.
this was the pinch. This was the big deal here. All right.
Yeah.
And you can see that we do have that little like indentations, but again, it's there. There's nothing we can do about it. That's going to be my biggest ding with this book.
Right.
But again, when we look at that compared to this, what a world of difference. This or that, right? Like,
right.
So a lot of TLC with that. I can only imagine what you did on it. But again, we've gone from, a back cover that looks like this to this. And then again, I'm just bouncing forward because I want you guys to see the level of quality work that our friends here do at Spineworks. And we've got that's gone. We don't see that anymore.
Yeah.
That was up on the top corner. Let's see. That was near the bicycle.
Yeah, it's near the bicycle point.
Yeah, the bicycle point. So we know that's gone. And then just back one more time to, to this compared to this. Beautiful, Lenny.
Yeah.
Beautiful. So now, when we talked about this, all right, so we did send it for a walkthrough, and we sent it for a walkthrough for many reasons. One, I didn't want the book sitting there forever.
No.
Two, with the price increase, I would have paid a lot more, right?
Yeah, well, you have to at this book, at the level of this book, you have no choice but to do walkthrough.
Okay, interesting.
So you can't put that in because remember, this is 1975.
Yeah.
So technically, it's modern tier.
Yeah.
But the value and the aesthetics of the book and everything, the CGC wouldn't allow.
Yeah, right. You'd be getting a call, right? You'd be getting a call.
Right. Oh, no. Not only would I be getting a call, but a nice fat email saying, yeah, that's not going to work, buddy.
Yeah, right. And then that in turn, that gets him a nice fat, hey, Otto, you owe me some more money. So,
yeah.
Okay,
yeah. And we already know that.
Yeah, we do. That's already happened. Thank God. That was one of the best things ever. So it's only getting better. So initially, you guys, when I first looked at the book, I thought it would be a 9.92. I take that back. I looked at it after our call. Without looking at it, without the work that Lenny did, I thought 7.75. Now, this is where we get into hopes and dreams and what's going to happen. Lenny is the realist of the group. I am the hopes and the dreamer. Yeah. Okay.
I'm very transparent and
very transparent.
And I am a realist. That's been my motto for years. I don't want to sugarcoat it. I'm not going to lie about it. When you ask me what the grade is, what I tell you.
You told me an 8 to 8.5.
Yeah.
Okay. 8 to 8.5, which is fantastic because of all those things that you took out, right? All those things that you took out. And at an 8 to 8.5, it's a nice chunk of change. Okay.
Oh yeah. Right. No doubt. It's still a book that most people would love to have.
Yes. Right. Thank you very much. And I'm fortunate that I was able to get it at a great price.
Right. I mean,
now, Letty,
even if this was slapped tomorrow, tomorrow's Sunday, Monday, I'm hoping that Monday it'll be ready to pick up. But
yeah, I think so too.
Even if it was an 8.0, there would be a line of people that would love to have that book at an 8.0. The problem is the price value, even at an 8.0.
Yes.
But
now, I am the eternal optimist. I'm hoping for the 9. Guys, if you're watching, if I do this live and if it ends up a 9.2, which again, I mean, my chances are slim to none. I probably got a better chance of growing hair, than it coming back at 9.2. I will karate chop the bar that you will hear it around the world. But again, It is what it is, you guys. It's a great book. It's a great investment book.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know, it's one of my favorite books of all time. It's a multi first appearance book. It's
Oh, yeah.
only going to go up in price.
Oh, no, no. That's definitely what we call a blue chip book.
Yep,
And
absolutely. And
it just keeps on going up. And folks, if you can't afford the Hulk 181,
yep,
you know, this is the next best thing. I actually like the story and the artwork a lot better in the giant size X-Men.
so do I. It's a great story. Great story.
Yeah,
The
I
island
mean,
of Krakoa, everything that they go through. The first page. Now, this is very funny. I'm going a little off task. Lenny, I got a lead on a coverless GSX-1.
oh
So,
wow,
but it's got a back cover.
oh
So,
wow, okay.
so no matter what, but you know I love my 0.5s.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
I'll have this book, and then if I can get this other guy to make a nice deal, maybe I get that,
Right.
send that off. So you know I love my coverlesses because Stan Lee always said it's the first page. It's the first page of your comic that gets your person to buy the
Oh,
book.
oh yeah,
Stan
that's
Lee would
true.
say, you look at the cover, they take it off because they see the cover. Then they open up the first page and they're going to
That's
be
right.
either like, oh, that's great, or that's stupid. And this
Right.
cover, this inside
Yeah.
cover is classic first cover, right?
Oh yeah. Oh
So,
no, no doubt,
okay.
no doubt.
So we went with the walkthrough, like we said, we're going to get
Yeah.
it back. And for what I paid in the walkthrough, and I think it was well worth it. People are like, that's a lot of money. Sure, that's a lot of money up front. But when you look at it, it's a percentage. It's a small percentage of the book, Lenny, right?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, again,
5% maybe, you know?
you cannot get away but walk through in this tier on
Yep.
this quality of book. Now, don't get me wrong. If the book was beat to you know what,
Yep.
and it looked like a rag, then yeah, you have a better chance than put in a modern tier, and and get away with it. But being in this stage and the quality of the book, CGC right off the bat would be like, okay, now we know it's walkthrough. Let's see what value tier he put it through. What amount of money it's insured for, right?
Yes, right, right.
And is it fair based on the grade and everything? Because I'll be honest with you, and you already know this.
Yep.
If it goes your way and it comes back a 9.2,
Yeah.
there's still a chance that they'll come back and say, hey, you owe us more money.
Okay, I'll pay it.
Oh,
I don't
I
have
know
a
you would.
choice. Yeah, right.
I know you would.
Right.
But there is that slight chance, and it
Okay.
just
Well,
happens
you know
to
what? Hey, I'll gladly pay it for that.
yeah,
So
you're right, right.
you're
But I
right.
just
And I
had
have no choice. So you're right. Absolutely.
right.
So
I just had a customer with the same thing. He had two books
yeah.
that I felt, and I said to him, look, we're gonna put it in this tier. And again, the bottom line is the end product is based on what CGC is going to grade the book at. And I told him there is a slight chance. I don't know, because I don't work for CGC. I am a dealer,
Yeah.
but I don't work there, and I don't check out their office, and I'm not hanging out in the office,
Sure.
But it so happened that I got an email, just like the one you did.
Yeah. Right.
And those two books out of a 20-book submission, those were the two that came out.
Yeah. Okay.
And
wow.
now
There you go.
he would have to pay more money, but he was like, wow, you were right. There is a slight chance. And those two were picked out. So I told him, hey, the good news is you're going to have some two high grade books coming back your way.
Right.
And it's worth it because, one of them was Star Wars 42.
Oh, big book. Huge.
Big book right now. Yep. And Batman Adventures 12.
Oh, even a bigger book that I'm chasing like you wouldn't
So I
believe.
told him,
oh,
dude,
God.
I said, hey, this is a great sign for you.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay, I'll take your word for it. And he paid the difference. I showed him the email, and we're waiting on his books that should be ready this week coming up.
Yep.
So,
interesting. But, I agree with you.
But again, if things go your way and the comic gods give you that 9.2,
yep,
I'd be forwarding you that email too.
All right, no problem. All right. So, guys, that is it. That's the story behind this book. I told Lenny I only wanted to keep him for 20 minutes. I talked way too much. I doubled this time. So okay. You guys know that Lenny is part of Spineworks. Please reach out to Spineworks Comics for all the needs. Pressing. They come to our events. Speaking of events, we have another event planned. This is our 3 Men in a Basement Winter Comic Book Crawl. This is February 19th. We have 3 stops planned up here in Connecticut. It's cold. We got to get out of the house. We don't have palm trees hanging around us. We're not wearing shorts.
Oh,
so we need,
Is that wrong?
No, not wrong, not wrong. We all have choices, and I've decided to stay up here where you went south. So Michael Raphael from Spineworks Comics will be there. He will be taking books to be pressed and submitted. I'm actually going to give him a couple books because I need to reholder some of my books because I'm a little bit clumsy and we don't like cracked slabs. Some of our upcoming events, we have our crawl. March 19th, we'll be at King Con. April 23rd, that's my dyslexia. We'll be at the Old School Comic Show, and May 14th, the 3 Men in a Basement have something big planned for you guys. So stay tuned.
I might be up there for that.
Yes, I hope so. I hope so.
I should be up there for that, and then of course, you know, we have a whole bunch of things that we're working with Capture Collectibles.
Yep.
I'm hoping that the one big show that I'm looking forward to, and I'm hoping that we could do it, and I know Jason is trying to make some phone calls, would be the Star Wars celebration.
Oh wow, amazing!
That would be awesome because it's in Anaheim, California.
Yep.
And I know that he's looking into that. But myself, I have a show tomorrow, if you remember.
Okay.
It's local show of ours at the DeLand area of Florida.
Right. Awesome. And I will promote that. You'll see that on our 3 Men in the Basement page later today. You'll have, I'm sorry about that. We'll have all the details for that, where to find Lenny. If you're in Florida and you want to go get some books, check that out. But, you know, you can find these guys at Spineworks Comics. You can find them on Facebook. They've got a great Facebook page. So, Lenny, I appreciate you coming on and talking about this today. I appreciate the mad scientist, the master presser, and all the work. So, when this video airs, probably tonight, if not tomorrow morning, first thing, just know that hopefully that book will be back in a week. We have another live show coming up this Friday. Well, hopefully you'll see more of Spineworks and Capture Collectibles. But again, Lenny, tell them where they can find you, even though I just told them.
Well, you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and we have our own webpage, www.spineworkscomics.com.
Right.
And always, whenever you do a search, you have to put spineworkscomics.com, because if you don't, it takes you to a chiropractor.
You get a chiropractor, right? And he ain't gonna press your books. So
right. He's not gonna fix that type of spine.
Yes, absolutely. So on behalf of the 3 Men in the Basement, Dave in the Cave, Roger Levesque, I'm Everett Otto, Master Presser, Lenny from Spineworks. This is the middle part of my giant size Xmen #1. I hope you enjoyed this. Go back and watch the other video. You saw the pictures, you heard the news. We are the real deal. We walk the walk, we talk the talk, and we are out. Peace. Good night, Canada, as Roger would say.